This is a Headgum podcast.
Hey bitch, what is your whole deal? Hey bitch, just tell us how you feel. You wished for a sign from above. Well, here's a podcast about boy sex, fucking, dating, and love. Seek treatment if you're boring as fuck. Seek treatment if you're unlucky in love. Seek treatment if you just can't take a hint. Well, seek treatment with Kat and Pat.
Hey, it is your girl.
And it is your boy Pat.
And this is
Seek Treatment. This is rock and roll.
This is Rock and Roll Hall of Fame
This is Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, where every episode we induct one lucky comedian into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Hall of Fame culture is so embarrassing. It's like
there's too many halls.
And just imagine the people that are doing it. You know, imagine the people that started and like meet up to be like, who should we add this year? And it's like, who gave you the right to decide who's
why are you as a man
like picking your favorite rock star and then holding a ceremony for them? Like, it's really embarrassing. And if
I feel really bad for anyone in a Hall of Fame.
If I was ever offered, I'm going to go on record saying this, if anyone ever offered me membership to any Hall of Fame, I would politely decline.
And you know that I would accept. I would be a complete fake bitch. I'd be up there crying like a fake whore. And I'd say, yes, thank you, daddy.
It's like that famous quote, I don't want to be a member of any Hall of Fame that would have me.
Exactly. Oh my God, our guest is popping
here
into the studio. This is going to be... We can't
we're
hear
waiting for kind of a sync up, link up between the AirPods and the computer.
It's coming.
The AirPods and the computer are communing. They're coming together. They
Father, Son, Holy Spirit.
Connecting with one another, and they're figuring out how to best chat with one another. Collab or die.
I saw our amazing Collab or Die friend this weekend.
I feel uneasy.
Shout out to Gio.
Oh, right. Wait, what was that event everyone was posting?
Well, I hosted the Eckhouse Lauda after party, which was really fun and chic, and I got to wear some of their gorgeous clothes because it is Fashion Week in New York.
Yeah.
You guys, we have a literal family on the pod today. Get your ears open for one of my absolute faves, the one and only Jeffery Self.
Hi.
Sorry it took you forever. You're perfect.
No
never change.
Well,
Where are you and how are you?
And at the very least, welcome in.
Thanks.
The very least I could do is to say welcome in.
Welcome in.
Thanks for the welcome. Kat, are you being held hostage somewhere? It doesn't look great.
I just got to London. I'm in my friend's guest room, and I'm literally I have the laptop like in a cupboard, and then I'm sitting and I'm looking into the cupboard. Is that obvious?
Don't you feel like everyone is in a cupboard in London on some level?
100%. It's like
a cupboard of we're all living in a cupboard of our own making.
Yeah. Emily Dickinson said,
Jeffrey, do you think hell is other people?
Life is beyond the shelf. What is it?
Jeffrey, first question off the bat. Do you think hell is other people?
Absolutely. But I also think it's
such a people person.
My own making.
Totally. It's your own cupboard. Are you a people person?
Such a charmer. You're a charmer, Lord knows.
Such a charmer, my nice narmer.
But don't you think somebody who's a charmer is like doing that to avoid having to like actually connect with people?
Here's the thing. When you're every once in a while, you find yourself being the charmer, and like it feels electric in the moment, and you're like, I am God. I'm charming everyone. But then you are struck later by being like, oh my God, it was all a farce and I have escaped nothing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it's like, I feel like being charming in a moment is like just sort of like batting the ball away from you. So it's just sort of like and then just like putting it on somebody else.
And like this tetherball, and it swings back and smacks you in the face.
And when someone
I will say, I get the ultimate high from like having a really small, charming interaction. I'm like, God, I'm so good at that.
Totally. But then sometimes you're not, and you realize that like you never should have put stock in that in the first place.
Yeah. But I think
Jeffrey, what?
Jeffrey, what?
No, I was just gonna say like, or you just can't be charming. Some people just aren't charming.
Oh,
Well,
don't I know
people-
it?
some
Have you met
people
people? They're hell is other people.
How about this classic situation?
I haven't
found?
slept. I'm bringing such a unique energy.
I found
There's other people.
I found myself in a classic situation 2 evenings ago where I was at I was eating with 4 people, me being one of the 4. So I was eating with 3.
Sounds like a nightmare already.
Are you okay?
I was eating with 3 other people, or to put it in modern parlance, 3 hells. I
knew you were going to say that. 3 balls of hell.
I was primarily there to catch up with one specific person. And then that person and another person got into 2. I got co-opted by the person next to me on my same side of the table.
No.
Nightmare.
Nothing like it. I've never experienced anything like it in all my days dealing with hells. He literally told me a 30-minute convoluted story in which the names of the people lost meaning and even words themselves lost meaning. Never at any point even took a breath of air. And it was like, I couldn't even respond. I wasn't even trying to talk about any of my journey. I was just like trying to respond to what he was saying. It was like, that wasn't even an option.
What was it about?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Tell us who it was.
Yeah, and what's their name and where do they live?
You wouldn't know them. I lost complete. I literally, that was everything. I would be checking with myself every 7 minutes and be like, wow, I have no idea what he's saying. Like, I just have no idea what he's talking about. And I just have to sort of like, hear it.
Let
you know what I mean?
Are you
to let them.
Are you good at that though? Like pretending like you're hearing it and and taking it in? I'm great at that.
He told someone later, the person told someone later that I was funny. So I'm like, it's so funny for him to say that because I didn't say a word. You know what I mean? But so I must have been doing good at something, but
You're
for
making
me,
big faces.
yeah, it was very uncomfortable for me.
You
I'm
were
sorry
like
to
sticking
hear
your tongue
that.
out and you didn't even realize it.
Yeah. You were doing the uncopyable joke.
Like, funny guy, really funny.
No, Jeffrey, what's going on?
Yeah, how are you feeling today? What's
I haven't
up?
seen you since
my
2
God.
summers. I haven't seen you in person since 2 summers ago.
Well, the waist is bigger and no, things are good. I just got back from Canada. Ever heard of it?
Yes,
Wow.
it was. And you were cozy in a cabin. Tell us about that.
I was cozy as hell in a cabin with, do you know Sabrina Jalise? I'm sure y'all both know wonderful Sabrina Jalise.
One time she didn't know my name in an online interview.
Oh,
like
yeah.
that.
What was that?
In 2019, Sabrina Jalise didn't know my name in an online interview.
And you're still thinking about it.
But who's counting?
You quarantined with that through all of 2020. Well, she still doesn't know your name, by the way. No, she is, we love. No, my husband, Augie, who you both know, is filming a TV show in Canada. And I was like, not going to go. And then I decided it's kind of fun to go be like on location for something like as if you're working, but you're not actually working. You know what I mean? Where you're like living in the hotel and you're like on the work schedule, but you're not
1000%.
working. I think it's my vibe. I think that's my sweet spot.
I want to be a wag. I want to be a wag.
What does that mean?
Wives and girlfriends of basketball players, but it doesn't have to be basketball players.
Any athlete, really.
It could be.
There was that show.
Yeah. I think one time I saw
Augie's he's out on the court in Vancouver. Getting those shots
shooting things.
Yeah.
One time I saw your boyfriend in a hotel in Canada, or to put it more accurately, he saw me.
He told me that, and I immediately was like, "Are they gonna fuck?" And I got like jealous.
And did they?
I will say this is a funny anecdote. He did say I had never met him, and he was like, "I just saw you in my hotel." And then he was like, I just was with your boyfriend or something. I was, not partnered at the time. And I was like, wait, who? And he's like, Matt. And he thought I was dating Matt Rogers.
Oh my God, twist.
I know.
Have you ever dated
Can
Matt?
you imagine?
I've never dated Matt.
That would be a wild duo.
We made out one time in 2014.
That's crazy.
In 2014, I made out with that girl. Yeah.
Oh, I want to make out with both y'all. Okay, wait. So you were on location.
Yeah, I was on location, not doing a job,
That sounds
and so that
heaven.
was like nice, and that was the kickstart of my February. Why are you're doing a show in London, right?
Yeah, I'm trying to write my new show, so I'm doing some work in progress nights.
We
here.
love.
So I just
And
Yeah, I'm here at my friend's house, which is so cozy. And I'm going to be here for 3 weeks.
And she or she has a towel and a door.
Stop.
That's cool.
That's something.
That's kind of neat. That's kind of European.
Oh, they have towels over there.
Very Brexit. I see. I get it.
Which friend, Catherine, can you say?
Camilla.
Yeah.
Camilla Cabello.
Camilla Cabello. I'll be home for Quilmoys. You can count.
Is she around, Camilla Cabello?
I think she had a new album like this year, but it was a tough year to have a new album with Sabrina and Charlie and Chapel. Right. Maybe it was last year. I don't remember.
It was hard to be a pop girl that wasn't one of the main pop girls this year, for sure.
Are y'all big pop ladies? Are you big pop people?
Not really, but I'll connect and run with one. Like,
it just depends on the phase.
Yeah.
Like who?
Who's your girl?
Like who do you?
My biggest girl is Taylor.
Yeah,
my biggest girl is Taylor. I'm really big into Gracie.
We're both big Swifties.
I would say
like her.
I would say of like the albums, I'll be like, I've latched to. I've done 2 Gracie albums, pretty much all of Taylor's since Red, and then like Chapel's latest, and then Charlie actually was really delayed with. Like the public response to Charlie was actually overwhelming to me, and I had to like block it out, and then I kind of revisited it later, and of course enjoyed it.
It is so good. You know, my gorgeous assistant Carly, shout out, I love you. She's obsessed with Tate McRae. Now, do y'all know about her?
I don't know what any of this means.
I am going to say a story of this. I'm going to say a story of this, but the person someone I think involved in the story does listen, and I'm just saying it all with love. But I will say this. I was with a group of 4 gay men, and one of them was like, I was always with 4 people.
So, were you one of 4? I keep were one of 4?
I was a barbershop quartet.
Yeah.
I was with 3 gay hells. 3 gay hells. And one of them was like, I'm going to put on Tate McRae. And I was like, I don't really know Tate McRae, like what her deal is. And he's like,
Tate McRae.
I'm sorry, can I just like tell you like the whole story of Tate McRae? And I was like, sure. And then literally the story was like, she blew up on YouTube, which I just told that story in like 2 seconds, and he did nothing wrong, but did tell, for some reason, his version of she blew up on YouTube took like 6 minutes. And I was like,
why do I like need his version? I'm like, wait, I want to hear the story.
I know. He's wonderful. He listens, I think.
She is an amazing dancer.
I feel like this is telling more about you there, Pat, because like you keep talking about always hanging out in 4s and getting cornered by someone who has like a long-winded tale.
Would you feel more comfortable if there was one other hell here right now, Pat?
Yeah. Should we throw someone else on?
This wasn't long-winded. There was 2 different, and I wasn't cornered. This was like more of a presentation to the table. And it was like, you know, it's interesting being gay, where it's like it's
interesting being gay.
It is. God, it is. God, it is.
I was just like, you know, you're going to go to this 4-person, you know, event, and we're going to
straight people go to 4-people events too.
But you're not going to talk about
a 4-people event.
And you're going to talk about
welcome to my 4-people event.
But the way that you talk about, and Jeffrey, perhaps you can identify this, the way that you might talk about like a Tate McRae with, you know, 4 LA gay guys, it's just like,
sure,
it's a very specific tenor.
Yes, and everyone has like it's a very intense take, I guess.
I was going to say, would you say that takes abound at the Tate McRae tabletop discussion? Takes abound at the Tate McRae tabletop. Now let's dive in, because Jeffrey, thank you so much. I am not classically trained. Now let me ask you this, Jeffrey. On this pod, we just ask everyone one question: who were you? Who are you? And who do you want to be?
Okay,
take us on a journey.
Let's start with, who were you?
Yeah. Who was little Jeffrey?
I mean, I feel like because I have this book coming out.
I know. Let's fucking get into it. Self-sabotage. And when does it come out?
And it comes out March 11th.
I'm dying to read it.
And other ways I've spent my time. And it's like essays about my own, you know, personal life. And so when I was writing it, I was just thinking about this the other day. Like, I feel like when I look at like who I was and going to who I am and who I'm going to be, like, I feel like my confidence level and my tenacity and my positivity was so much stronger as who I was. So I would say who I was like a ball of like ambition and seeing the world as mine to conquer.
Yeah.
And I think who I am is sort of the opposite of that, a little like beaten down by rejection and just the life. But who I'm going to be is someone with a pool.
You are definitely gonna have a pool. It's shocking you don't have one right now.
Yeah,
I'm such a pool person. I want a pool house.
Well, you
I
know
don't
you
want
are.
a
You're
pool.
like
I want
a really.
house.
But don't you live in New York?
Yeah,
He
I don't
was-
care.
he's
I'll
gonna-
have a
he's
pool
gonna-
house.
Let him have a pool house. Let
Oh,
them.
you're allowed.
You're gonna have a country home in the.
I want to live like in the Berkshires now.
Yeah,
I know.
I know.
In
Because
my
you're-
pool house.
Because you're married, right?
Yeah. And if you're
Yeah.
married, you should have a pool house.
You
Totally.
should, a wedding ring,
Don't you
something
know-
blue,
you know what I
something
mean?
borrowed, and a pool house.
Yes.
And a pool house. You know what I mean about a pool house, though? There's something so...
Well,
Like I rented an Airbnb once that had a pool house, and I just spent the whole time in the pool house.
Yeah,
Interesting.
totally. Was it?
It's just something cozy about it.
Totally. Well, it reeks of like excess. It's like we have our house. This is
An
actually a
extra
separate house that there's no real reason to have, except for we have a separate house because we have a pool. It's like, okay, well, you can have a pool without having a house next
Is
to
there
it.
a place to
It's
put
just-
your pool noodles? It's like
Yeah,
where
it's a
will we
pool.
put
It's like pool noodles, like a mini fridge with like lots of like seltzers and like
Yes.
Coca-Cola when the kids come over.
Oh,
and like just like that sort of stale smell of pool water that's like, people have been dripping in there and it's like, oh, it's fine. We don't care. The floor can get wet. It's just
It's
a
the
pool
pool
house.
house.
It's true well.
It's true well. And it's just, I don't know. That's who I'm gonna be.
Yeah.
That's who I want to be.
Interesting.
And what were you like in high school?
Yeah. Where'd you grow up?
Well, I homeschooled myself in high school.
You are not allowed to
my
homeschool.
goodness.
Jeffrey, you are not allowed to homeschool yourself.
I
That's
know.
crazy.
I know.
You have
And
to
I
be
don't-
homeschooled by an older other person.
I did not. I didn't get like a diploma. And so I went to like elementary school, like in a small Catholic school that ended after 8th grade. And I like convinced my parents. I was just like, I did want to go to high school. So I was like, I'm going to homeschool myself online. They allowed me to do that.
That's
But
wild.
did you watch the WB?
I was mostly watching like The View, and that was like early days of Netflix DVDs. So I was like, we had the like 3 unlimited a month, and so I was just like watching movies all day, every day.
I wonder if am I older than you?
Sleeping. I am 26.
I think I'm older than you because I was in.
How old are you?
It doesn't matter. It's not better or worse.
What are we
to be
scared
older.
of?
It's not better or worse to be
We're
older or younger.
26. We're all 26.
What's with all this math? I'm 30. I'm 37. But
Okay, I'm
but I'll be
36.
38 next week.
That's okay.
Happy birthday to you.
So
no
you're-
one said anything yet. It is my half birthday today.
Wow.
Is it?
How crazy is that?
I don't. Do you have that like in your calendar?
No, I just looked at the calendar and I was like, huh.
Um,
No, I
right.
told when I got here, I told my friend that, and she was like, "What is that?" I said, "What are you talking about?"
It does sound like something like all Americans do.
Yeah, she's
like
like-
you go to England and you're like, so it's my half birthday.
Yeah,
so
she goes,
we
I
should
only
get
know
the
that.
rugs cleaned.
So she was like, "Are you a toddler?"
Wait. So what is? Tell us about your book. Or it's okay. Wait. So,
So-
you
Wait,
grew
no,
up in-
sorry. I still want to like. So how did you go from being homeschooled to moving
Okay.
to New York City and making videos that I would watch as a youth?
That's very nice.
I've been a fan
'cause
for
you're
years.
younger.
And I said that just to
I-
remind everyone that.
I liked that. It was kind of
Thank
cool.
you.
I I homeschooled for 4 years, and then I went to North Carolina School of the Arts briefly for their acting program.
Oh, so you
But I
must have
was
done a
like-
good job
they were-
homeschooling yourself.
But they weren't going to let me get a BFA because I didn't like have the like academic thing for that. So they were letting me get an art certificate. So it was like paying like for college and taking all the classes, but I didn't take academic classes. I only took the conservatory thing.
Sounds fun.
And I didn't know like how to not be in my pajamas at home all day, like around, and like I just didn't know how to like interact in the world. So I like had like a full meltdown and literally left the school in like the middle of the night after like 6 months, didn't tell anybody where I was going, and just like packed up my room while like my roommates were asleep.
Where were you going?
And I just started driving, and then I just like drove home and showed up at my parents' door and was like, I quit. I dropped out of college. And they were like, what? And then I was just at home for like 2 months, and then they let me move to New York.
Who's planning a trip to Provincetown this year? Woo! Amazing to hear, because you can be you in Provincetown. It's a beautiful mosaic of cultures where everyone is welcome. I love that Provincetown is so welcoming to everyone, embraces a kaleidoscope of folks. Love is a kaleidoscope, Chapel Roan. P-Town is always on an adventure filled with pride, mischief, sizzle, queer, magic, pride again. That's why I love Provincetown. It's queer, it's quirky, you can be yourself, and it's always a fabulous time.
And if you're someone who listens to this podcast and you happen to love an adventure that's filled with pride, then you're ready for your P-Town adventure. I'm obsessed with the idea of P-Town. We need to go this summer. It's going to be so fabulous because we can strut our stuff with our squad, solo, or hand in hand with our sweethearts.
From Boston, you just hop on a ferry for 90 minutes. The ferries run from mid-May through mid-October. For many of us, the definition of paradise is summertime in Provincetown. It's all about freedom, sunshine, and a chance to be ourselves. I can't stress that point enough. For more info, go to ptown.tourism.com. The official guide to Provincetown, that's ptown.tourism.com.
Woo!
This episode of Seek Treatment is brought to you by Booking.com. Booking.yeah. Listen, everyone, to me, I want to stand up and be heard, be seen, and be witnessed as I talk to you about Booking.com and its corollary app. Because every time I use Booking.com to find a place to stay in the United States of America, I know they'll have exactly what I'm looking for. And that's why I choose to use it, because that is valuable to me. They have a huge variety of options from hotels to vacation rentals, and I know I can find exactly what I'm looking for using this platform. So I found Booking.com has something for everyone. That's just something I found in my experience, and my experience is mine to have. So listen, you can find, if you're a Broadway lover, like listen, we all have that Broadway lover in our lives. And sometimes that person who is the Broadway lover in our lives is the person staring back at us in the mirror. And so what I'll say as someone who does enjoy Broadway from time to time is that I have been able to find the perfect hotel when I go to New York, now that I do live in Los Angeles, far from the famous street Broadway. And when I go to New York, I can use Booking.com, and I could use the app for Booking.com, which is actually even a little bit easier if you could believe it. And then I can just be in walking distance to all my favorite theaters, and I can see whatever musical I want on that particular day. And there's a gorgeous balcony sometimes at the hotel, which is so exciting. And so that is so fun. Okay, so no matter who you are, Booking.com helps you find a stay that's ridiculously right for you. Find exactly what you're booking for on Booking.com. Booking.yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, rev your engines, because it's time to take your nutrition to the next level. Meet Huel, today's sponsor. Huel is spelled Huel, and it's a global complete nutrition brand trusted by over 400 million people.
That's right. I've gone door to door to over 400 million homes asking the simple question, do you trust Huel? And received over 4 million responses in the affirmative. Their Black Edition ready to drink is a complete meal in a bottle, high in protein, low in sugar, and packed with the nutrients your body needs, not wants, but needs to perform and feel its best. And right now, new customers can try it for 15% off plus a free gift using my exclusive offer at huel.com/seektreatment.
Okay, I have to tell you guys, I'm so sorry, but Huel is a perfectly balanced meal. It's designed by experts to provide all the nutrients your body needs, from a meal, but it just takes the guesswork out of healthy eating. And you know, I'm always guessing, like, what is that? What's that? What's that? Oh, is that good or is that bad?
I know. What I appreciate is that they taste so good. Huel shakes actually taste like a milkshake. It's like you're at a drive-in drinking a malt. Okay,
It's
like
so
it
50s
harkens back to that milkshake culture of our time. And it's really delicious, be it chocolate or be it vanilla, the two sister flavors of our time. Bonus is they're low in sugar.
Lastly, Huel is incredibly affordable. Like, what? With high protein meals less than $5, it's a budget-friendly option that I am genuinely excited about. Don't believe me? Take the leap and join the community of Hueligans with this exclusive offer for new customers of 15% plus a free gift with my exclusive offer at huel.com/seektreatment.
Yes, that's 15% plus a free gift for new customers with my exclusive offer at huel.com/seektreatment. Unlock a healthier, easier way to eat with Huel. Nutritionally complete meals in minutes so you can focus on what really matters.
Amen.
And
What are your parents like?
They are, my dad works in the poultry industry.
Oh my God. I love chicken.
I know, what a
You
crazy,
do?
but what a
Well,
crazy
yeah,
time for the industry.
We thank you. We really thank you.
What does he think's going to happen with the birds?
I don't know. We don't really, we try not to get into it because these days it's just so stressful.
Yeah.
But yeah, he still does that. And then my mom had like a clothing store, and then she worked at the frame shop.
What was it called?
Yeah. It was called Ragtime Boutique. And then
Your mom had a boutique. That's every woman's dream.
Everyone's dream.
Well, I will say, like, I just watched 2 seasons of I rewatched Laguna Beach, and like at the end of each season, it's like the senior girls, and like I don't, it's like crazy. Like, where are we going to be? Like, it's all guess where we're going to be in 10 years. And like at least both seasons, at least one person's like, oh, I probably will want to be having a boutique. Like, I just want to have a boutique. Like,
I love
like one in every 4 girls wants to have a boutique one day, and your mom did it.
I mean, I get it, and she did it. And then when I was in high school, quote unquote high school, she worked at a picture frame shop in my hometown. My hometown is called Rome, and the shop was called Hanging Around Rome.
Oh, that's so
my
fun.
God.
Wait, what state was Rome in?
Oh, sorry. My thing just went off. Steven Simbari just texted me. You guys know him.
I
don't know him, actually.
You don't? That's rocks.
We never
It
met.
was so fun meeting him. It was electric with all of us around the table at Jane.
We love him. Sorry, what was
Rome,
the question?
Georgia,
Where are
right?
you
Rome,
from?
Georgia.
Georgia. Oh, you're a Georgian.
It's a Southern Belle.
Where are you from, Pat?
Long Island.
I think I knew that. And you're Texan girl over there.
Headgum. So then,
the Texas lady.
were you like?
So then, yeah.
But like, when did you have did you have crushes and stuff growing up, or when did that all start? When did that all thing start?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I had crushes. And then in high school, because I was homeschooling myself, I was home alone all day. It was just like at the computer. I was just
God.
like fucking my way through Rome, Georgia.
No
and surrounding
way.
You were
areas.
going out and getting it?
Oh, yeah. I was like on xy.com, not Adam for Adam. I don't think I had that yet. XY was big, and like AOL chat rooms.
Oh
and
my
I guess
God.
gay.com.
Why do
Yeah.
I have less courage than anyone else in the world is my question. Secondly,
I had more sex between the ages of like 15 and 18 than I have as an adult.
now wait, so were you doing other people
Were you like,
your
bye,
age?
mom and dad, I'm going to fuck this random?
Well, they weren't home. They were both at work. And so
Your life is a movie. You're Richie Rich.
I would I would drive to like I would drive like 45 minutes is probably as like far as I'd usually drive, because I was like running out of people. But I mean, it was crazy. I would like,
You're running out of house. Running out of house.
I was, because it was like, I remember I drove to like a mall in Marietta, which is like about 45, 50 minutes away. And where Gone with the Wind is set.
Oh my God.
And like fucked a security guard in the mall in like the bathroom.
Wait, really?
But, like,
yeah, of course not.
But
wait, so was it adults? Was it adults? Can I ask?
It wasn't children.
No. I mean, you were a child. I mean, was it people your age?
I mean, I was 16. I could drive.
Totally.
So, I mean, it was. I sometimes on the like great days, it was like people my around my age.
Great days.
But for the most part.
It's a great day. I suck so I'm.
Oh, he's 17. It's a great day. No, most of the time it was like, I mean, I ran the gamut. I'll be honest. I ran the gamut. But then there was also a right across the street from my parents' house is a college. It's literally a Bible college. And so there was a lot of action there.
Wow.
And then I would and then I just could walk across to someone's dorm, or they would walk across to me, more likely, because I didn't have a roommate. My parents were at work.
Oh my God. At the Ragtime Boutique.
At the Ragtime Boutique.
Mommy was the Ragtime Boutique and you were just slurping it.
And Daddy's feeding chickens.
Yeah.
And so, but yeah, I was doing a lot of that. And so by the time I moved to New York, I was just like a fucking, veteran slut. And then I became a prostitute when I got to New York.
Oh my goodness. How did that happen?
And that's a very, very big part of my new book, Self Sabotage and Other Ways I've Spent My Time.
March 11th, available where all books are sold. March 11th.
I just needed money. I needed money. And so I just
would you be on Craigslist, or was it
Yeah. It was
you'd
all
just
Craigslist.
Be hey, available.
Yeah. And
was it fun or was it scary or both?
It was all of the above. I think ultimately, I think it was good for me. Yeah. But I think it was, it was a very stressful thing to do. I mean, it was also, I think they've talked about this as well, so I can say, but I got, at the time, myself and Cole Escola were doing these videos together, and Cole was also very broke. And so I got Cole. Yeah. And so I got Cole to start being a prostitute too. And so we were both having sex for money, and we shared so many of the same Johns. Yeah. But they didn't know we knew each other. And so we would be able to come home and tell each other war stories about
Where's this sitcom?
About our day. I know. I agree.
No.
Just
have y'all written
door slamming and cum shots.
Oh my God, sounds amazing.
It was I did that for 3 years.
How did you and Cole first meet?
Cole hired me as a prostitute. No, Cole, we met through an older gay man who was not paying us for sex.
Oh my God. What an asshole.
But he was very amused by both of us separately, and was an old show queen, and would take us individually out to dinner, and would show us movies. And he was a really, really sweet guy. And and one day was why don't I take both of you to dinner together? I think you guys would like each other, and introduced us.
And did you hook with him just for free?
Cole, did I hook up with Cole?
No, did you hook up with the guy who was showing you movies?
Oh, no. I think he would have I think he probably would have.
I bet he would. Hey, Jeffrey,
I bet he would have, honey.
He's showing you movies. I bet he would have.
And then
we kept it separate.
Yeah, that's smart.
Yeah.
And then when were you it's LA time? When did that happen? You conquered New York and you said it's time to move on.
I guess it was after 5.5 years of New York, and I was just sort of things were kind of happening. I mean, things were happening, but I was still making no money, and was just sort of I don't know, kind of burnt out on New York. And I went to visit LA, and at that time it was this would have been 2010. LA was really seemed so much cheaper than New York. And I went to someone's apartment, and they had laundry and a pool on their roof, and it was so much cheaper than my rent. And I was wait, this is better.
You're obsessed with pools.
Hey, are you okay?
I really am obsessed with pools.
But do you being inside them?
Yes. I mean, I'd rather be in the pool house, but I would.
Yeah. Once I get in a pool, I'm sort of well, now what?
You do with you're a little sim who just kind of
yeah, I'm just kind of well, this isn't solving anything.
Yeah, I think it actually can solve quite a lot.
It
flip over to feel weightless.
Yeah,
I agree. I was just listening to this new biography on Vivian Lee and about her bipolar disorder that just came out. And I guess she used to do some sort of thing called aquatherapy, where you would lay in a pool, and it was about getting water in your left ear made you dealt with the mania, and water in your right ear dealt with the depression or something. And so that's a pool doing something beneficial for you.
Do you know my least favorite feeling in the entire world? Oh my God, I'm just picturing it now. I'm picturing the feeling. Oh my God, it's such a bad
You've
feeling.
really been sitting with your feelings lately.
Getting water up
You
your
really
nose. Getting water up your nose.
Oh.
I don't
When
love
you're
that either.
And there was something that stresses me out about, like, now I'm thinking about pools, I'm doing regressive therapy. There's something very stressful to me about diving sticks.
What's a diving stick?
Did y'all have those?
Yeah, diving rings.
You mean a
as
diving
well.
board?
Depending on where you're from.
Diving rings, diving sticks. Like when you dive, have to dive down and get them.
I don't mind that.
I don't mind that either.
Did you
Jeffrey,
get
we don't
stuck
have to
down there
agree.
once?
We
I'm
don't
a
have
strong
to agree on
swimmer.
everything.
Did you get stuck by the drain or something?
Oh,
Nothing
God,
happened.
don't.
Nothing happened.
Because that
what you
always
think.
scares me, getting stuck by, because as a kid, you were so like, avoid the drain, you're going to get
Yes.
stuck down there.
I know.
But I recently I was in a pool and I went down there and was like, could I get stuck? And I couldn't.
Totally. You tried to get stuck.
I can handle a pool drain any day.
Totally.
When did you meet the person that would go on to be your husband?
We met at a brunch in 2015, I want to say, or
Oh
14.
my goodness.
And we were introduced by Jordan Firstman.
Oh my God.
Shout out.
Yeah. And then Augie was like really cute and we were at like a brunch and Jordan was, and I like first saw him and Jordan was like, I was like, he's mine. And Jordan was like, no, he's mine. And it was like, the best man win. And then we all ended up hooking up. But then Augie and I stayed together.
Yeah.
Augie's so amazing and so cutie patootie.
He is a cutie patootie.
I've only met him a couple times.
He
He's a
is
sweet
the
guy.
best vibe. He like loves life.
He's it's interesting because I'm like, my natural state is not great, and his natural state is the opposite. It's like always so good and positive, and so it's very good for me, but sometimes completely just infuriating. I feel like you and like you seem like a very positive Kat, and then Pat, you feel like someone who would probably be a depressive.
Well, I don't know if you heard me earlier saying that I'm sitting with my difficult feelings. I definitely swing. I go into depressive states for like a little while, and then I remind myself to enjoy my one life. But I do like, I think as I'm getting older, I'm getting better at like coming out of it and being like,
I think I am too. Yeah. Like I'll be down for the count for like 2 or 3 days, maybe sometimes.
Yeah. That's why you can
be like 2 or 3 weeks.
Totally. And I'm just like, I realize I'm placing expectations on other people, and like, I'm like, well, you're feeling uncomfortable. This is like no one's fault, but you're like, you have to just sit with this and deal with this. And like, that is more productive than like sinking down into this weird, like,
totally.
I have to block out the whole world type thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I very much do.
Does that answer your question, Jeffrey?
Do you find LA to be living in LA because you were in New York for so long and now you're in LA? Do you find that the city of LA itself and just sort of the lifestyle of like driving in a car and going to Target and all the things you get to do in LA? Do you find that better for like mood stuff?
I think so, but I also just think if I had lived in LA for a long time, moving to New York would have been better. I think I've become a big advocate for like changing things up, because I think that is what has been home. It's also difficult. Like I feel definitely like a little bit more on shaky ground like than I have, but I feel like I'm learning new parts of myself in a way that I hadn't in a long time. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So like overall, that actually feels good. It just sometimes I'll get kind of like existential dread because I'm like, wait, where am I anymore? Like, but then it's just fun to sort of fill in those gaps and like feel like I'm changing a little bit. Do you know what I mean?
I do. I think that's great.
That's so eye roll to have said that.
I don't think it's eye roll.
I think it's
as
beautiful.
I roll my eyes.
And then
go ahead.
How did you decide you wanted to write a book? And how is that? And how is the process for you?
I decided to write a book because you can make so much fucking money.
Right.
Because books are very, famously huge
lucrative
right
well,
now.
everyone's addicted to reading. Everyone's
People
addicted
love
to
it.
Our culture is
reading.
addicted to reading. We
Yeah.
can't stop putting our books down.
We're losing human connection
gotta-
because people are just always reading and turning
On a
pages.
book. Yes, they're just there's a bookstore on every corner, locally owned, and I wanted to get in on that. No, I had wanted. I like I mean, it's like so many fucking cliche gay guy thing to say, but like I grew up loving David Sedaris.
I know,
and like Augustin Burroughs and all that, on the nose shit, but it's true, and like. I had written I wrote a couple YA novels like a while ago that's for Scholastic. And that was really fun. And I really enjoyed the process of writing in book form because it is so like, it's like just so insular in that way.
Yeah.
Like you don't have to deal with anyone else and you get to kind of be the director, the actor, the set designer, all those things.
Yeah.
And you're creating a world. And that was really fun. But like, I wanted to write something more adult. And I always, for a very long time, wanted to write down all of my specifically experiences when I was a sex worker. That period. Because it's like one of my favorite things to talk about. And I've just always wanted to get it all on paper. And so I sat down and did that and then was like, oh, there could be other, stories and make a book out of this. And so that's what I did.
Did you feel it more difficult when you were writing about your, like, doing creative nonfiction than, like, did it feel more personal and harder?
Yeah. I will say, like, I don't, like, by the time I was done with it, I was like, I don't ever want to think about myself again.
I know. It's such an interesting
like
part of the creative process. Sorry, what were you going to say?
No, that's a no. Go ahead.
Well, because you're like, there's this whole added element of like, how am I seeming? And how does it seem like I'm trying to seem? Do you know what I mean? Where it's like, that doesn't exist when you're not writing in this way. Where it's like, oh, to God, are they going to think I'm trying to make myself sound like this or something? Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Do they think I'll be trying to seem smart or something? Do they think I'm trying, it's actually the most harrowing part, I find.
Yeah, and it's also, I mean, it's just also having to take accountability for like, especially if like the book and sort of the themes of this book being, self-sabotage and like sort of all the worst parts about myself, having to like really take accountability and inventory of all that stuff is not fun.
I know.
And and so like, but I will say it's like, because it's, as writing a book, it's such a long journey, like, especially now that it's coming out and like it's like a physical thing that is in my house.
I can imagine.
It's, in my pool house. I hope it doesn't get wet. It's in the pool house. But like now that it's like a tangible thing that's like no longer something that is like on my laptop that I have to keep like fucking rereading over and over and over.
God,
like, it does feel sort of like some closure on some of the like lingering emotional stuff that I explored in the book. Oh, it's so gross.
No, but here's the thing: you have to talk that way about it. Yeah,
of course.
You
can't be embarrassed of talking like that. That's my new thing.
Like, I'm sure you have that with like when you you talk so much about your life in your shows. Like, I'm sure like when you turn something, when you take a life experience and you like talk about it on stage or in book form or whatever, you kind of like. To me, at least, I think it like becomes something else, and you kind of like can move on from it in a nice way.
I know. When I finished this last show, I was like, "Oh my God, I'm so over everything I just said. Like, get that away from me."
Totally. Yeah, exactly. But now I'm like, I have no fucking idea what to say next. But that's okay.
I know.
That's the creative process. And then you also have this movie coming out, which I'm so excited to see with our girl Meghann.
With our girl Meghann Fahy.
I love her
so
God.
much.
And she said she once told me it was amazing that I had a podcast.
It is.
Meaning like you specifically, or just like
famous? I told this story already in the podcast, but I was at like something and like there was this gay guy I know and he was there with Meghann and I was like, "Oh, hi, how are you?" And he was like, "Meghann, this is Pat. He has a podcast." And then she said, "That's amazing."
It is amazing. It is. Look what we've done.
That's so sweet. She probably really meant it too.
No, I could tell she really meant it, and to the point where I almost felt guilt not correcting her.
Have you seen the movie?
I have seen the movie and it's so great. We filmed. It was the most fabulous experience. We didn't know each other before this movie, and every gay guy I know was like somehow knew her already and was like, "Oh, you guys are gonna love each other." Yeah. And so I immediately entered skeptical. Totally. But I was like, "Let's see about this." But she is genuinely one of the most wonderful people I've ever met, and the movie's so good. She's the lead, and she's brilliant. Amazing. It's like she really is. And this movie is, it's like a full kind of is like a 90s female lead action thriller big movie. And so she gets to like do stunts and all kinds of fun stuff, and it's she's tremendous in it. She's really, really, really great. I have to say something. Sorry, where does it come out? It's out in April. It's called Drop. It comes out April 6th.
And who do you play? Who are you?
So basically it's like all one. She's like on it. She's like a blind date from hell. Yeah. And like she's on this like blind date and she's being stalked by airdrops. And so she's like trying to figure out like it has to be someone within 50 feet of her.
Oh my God. I'm scared. I'm hooked.
And they're like basically like hacked into her security cameras, and they're like, she's like a single mom and her kid's at home with the babysitter, and they're like, you have to do this, this, and this, or we're going to kill your kid. And so she's trying to figure out, but she can't like tell anyone what's happening. And she's trying to figure out who the baddie is. And so everyone in the restaurant becomes a suspect in like a Agatha Christie type way. And I'm one of those people.
Oh my God, juicy couture.
It's really, really fun. It's like a very like Hitchcock for the phone era. You know what I mean?
Amazing.
Totally. Do you like being married? When did you get and who proposed?
When did you get and do you like?
You proposed to me. Do I like being married? No, I'm just kidding. Imagine if this is like
you're like actually.
And I had a breakthrough. Oh my God, I don't. You're right. When did we propose? I don't know how. I think we've been married for like 7 years. I think.
Wow.
And I know it's a long time. And I really love being married. I mean, when you're gay married, I mean, for us specifically, it's like a very unique thing in that, we're still fucking other people and
so fun.
It's a very evolved in that arena. But I mean, it's
do you know any? Do you know any straight couples who successfully do that?
I know couples that are more like, I think they'd identify more as bi that are good with that. But I don't feel like I know any like straight up straight couples. Do you?
No, I feel like the straights always try and we fail.
Do you get jealous ever?
Oh my God, I'm the most jealous person in the entire world.
How do you deal with it? How do you deal with it?
Does it turn you on or does it make is it bad?
Turn me on a little bit sometimes, but sometimes not. I mean, the thing with being open as a gay couple, I feel like, is like if one of you hooks up with someone that's like super hot, and you're like, well, why don't they want to hook up with me as well? Yeah. And that gets like, that's like really not healthy. Yeah. So I'll get like jealous if it's like someone I want to hook up with. If it's someone I don't have any interest in him, I'm like, whatever.
That's
if it's someone I'm like, oh, why not me? But
almost you're jealous of your husband, not of the other. Yeah.
Totally. Yeah. No, I'm more like, take him, please. Him. But I would like you. Yeah. It's I've gotten better at that, but I still don't think it's like, I'm still not amazing at it.
Yeah.
It's normal.
Are you a jealous person? Do you get jealous?
I'm currently examining and challenging my beliefs about jealousy, but I do think that I do think I'm a jealous person. Yeah. Or just, I not even necessarily just jealousy, but how it fits into sort of non-monogamy and like, what do I want? And like, what's the point of anything?
Totally. Do you get jealous like outside of romance? Like, do you get jealous like career wise or like?
I do. I have to
like
figure
other
that
people's
out.
lives.
How do you stop that?
I'd say
it's so
I used to. No idea.
I used to get really bad, like, I guess FOMO or like feeling very slighted by being left out of things. But I don't I'll get more frustrated with like, oh, I guess that's what people like. That's crazy to me because I don't like that. I wouldn't want to do that. But it's separate from jealousy because I'm not like, oh, I want to do that thing they're doing. But I'll get sort of like flummoxed about the state of the industry based on who gets successful. But I don't usually feel I'm much more, it's much more intense for me in like relational dynamics than it is professionally.
I would say my professional thing is probably bigger than my personal jealousy is.
Me too. It feels crazy.
It depends. Yeah, I know. Like
I literally get on my knees and I go, "Dear Lord, please take this feeling away from me. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it."
I know, and it's just like, but it's good to hear like other. I mean, it's always nice to hear when other people have that because, like, you know, like you're a very successful person, and I'm sure people are like look at your successes and are jealous of that, and it's like
let them.
It's hard to separate yourself from those feelings, though. Sometimes,
yeah, you know, one of the main things that helps me is thinking of like A-list celebrities being jealous of each other.
I think about that too. Or I totally think about that. And or also like I read a lot of like old Hollywood biographies and like when you hear about like or memoirs and when you read about like people like in like, you know, in the 50s or the 40s Hollywood being jealous of each other, I find that somehow
it's
so
comforting. It's like knowing it will never go away is comforting because you go, okay, well, this is just how life is.
Right.
Yeah. Like I can't, like anytime I check Deadline and Sydney Sweeney's doing something new, I get so jealous because we're always up against each other. You know,
always in the same room.
It's hard to be
pilots and for writers'
they're going with Sydney again. They're going with Sydney again.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, it's a bummer.
It's tough. It's rough. Do y'all?
Jealousy is such a time waster, though. It really is.
I know. Well, it's just like.
Well, that's the refrain: is you're pouring energy into something else. Pour it back into yourself. But it's hard to do that.
I know.
Are you poly or just open? Like, do you ever have emotional things with other people? If you want to say, but you don't have to.
Oh yeah, I'll tell you. We've kind of slipped into that before. We like the one time we dated someone, like we as a couple were dating this guy.
Yeah.
And it lasted for like 2 months. And it was like, we would, you know, like spend the day together and go to an art exhibit and go to dinner and then all fuck and then sleep in the same bed. It was like very lovely. It was very fun.
Do you have a California king?
Well, he did. We did not. We always slept at his place.
Yeah.
But I started developing feelings for that guy, and I don't think Augie's feelings were as intense for that guy, and so that was kind of murky. But then, so that was that was the first before we'd ever opened things up, and then we opened things up after that to be like, you had this connection with this guy, and I didn't really have it as much, so maybe you in the future like pursue that, and I'll pursue my thing. And then that summer we were apart because Augie was filming something, I think, in Europe, and I was, I think, in Canada, and we were both like having our own kind of sexy summers.
Dalliances.
And
please say dalliances.
Dalliances and please
just call it what it is. It's a dalliance.
That's a good name for a girl. Dalliance Cohen Regan.
It actually is.
Dalliance.
I feel like that experience got a little maybe too confusing.
Yeah,
because we hadn't really talked about like parameters.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know if I've had that again since then. But I mean, it's easy to slip into that, I guess. But it's usually when I slip into it, it's usually people who are like unattainable or like don't want me back, and so I'm like, well, now I have to make
completely
you
in love. Yeah.
God, isn't it all such a? Isn't it all
crazy
game? Yeah.
Okay, dalliance.
Dalliances. Do y'all have a crush of the week?
I just had one.
Person, place, thing, idea. Let me think.
I just had one. Didn't I?
I do. I mean, I've been really, it was a couple days ago. It was James Dean's birthday, and I went on like a deep dive I do it all the time of just James Dean photos and
Gorgeous.
videos. And I was, jerking off to it.
Yeah.
And I was like...
Jerking
And I
off to
was
the
like,
past. That's hot.
I know. And then as I was doing that, I realized I want to, like an intention, I think, for me this year is jerking off to dead people
Oh
more.
my God.
More, not less, more.
Do you watch
Yeah, no, definitely more.
Yeah, honoring them in that way.
what is your general like porn story?
I mean,
Well,
a new
I guess
segment.
black and white 40s.
But you're not on like falconstudios.com.
I mean, I have been.
Of course.
I'm familiar with their work.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It depends on the day. I'm pretty open. I mean, for a while I was doing the OnlyFans thing, and then I was
can't
like,
buy into that for some
what
reason.
am I doing?
I know. I don't want to see someone's real apartment.
Oh, certainly no.
Yeah.
But I don't have like a go-to kind of thing.
Yeah.
Do y'all?
My boyfriend likes a site called like Noodle X or something.
Noodle X.
Does it use pasta? Or pool noodles?
It's a pool noodle. Back to the pool house. Well, no, he'll just send me like porn like when we're apart, and then I'll be like, "How did you even find this? Like, this is not a real website." And he's just like a hacker when it comes to porn. Like he loves the stuff. Can't get enough.
That's cool.
I
I
kind of like the
celebrate
most
it.
basic
Get it.
things, like the most basic normal gay guy porn.
Sure.
Like
Funny
studio.
Girl.
Yeah. I like studio based stuff.
You're a Marvel.
Yeah.
You like Marvel porn.
Yeah.
Oh, you want like production value.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want good lighting. I like it. I don't have a webcam. I don't love that.
No, it's like, okay.
I know. I don't like when like
have
a real couple like in another like is
if
like
it's a webcam, I have to create a whole
grainy.
story of why it's a webcam. And I literally did this the other day. I found a porn that was so hot and it was like webcam based. And I had to invent a story in my head to get into it where the guy who was ultimately getting bottomed. The guy who was bottoming.
Getting bottomed.
In my
Have you ever had
head.
sex before?
He was like the son of like a politician who'd been kidnapped and like,
oh, stop this one.
do you know like in the first Black Mirror episode where like the guy had to fuck a goat on screen? Yeah.
Oh,
or a pig.
yeah.
Like it was like that. It was like,
Oh my God, I think I missed that one.
and
I'm
he
like,
was
no, I don't
I'm
know
gonna
that
fuck
one.
your son on webcam in front of the whole country. And it was like, that's
really hot.
And the son though was like, oh my God, but he was loving it, but he was like, I have to act like I'm hating it. Like that was like kind of where it went for me. But the webcam had to serve a narrative purpose for me to get into it. Do you know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. Had to have dire straits in that way. Yeah. That's a lot of work. It's a lot of work in your mind.
Put that towards the book.
It's an enormous amount of work to be me, Jeffery Self.
It sounds like it. Oh, it's a lot. I think it's a lot for everybody.
Yeah.
My crush of the week is it is like coming home. It is like stepping into a warm bath. And what it is watching Love Island All Stars on Peacock.
Totally.
It is like the only thing that's gotten me through January, Feb is reality TV. I fucking love it. Love Island is the best show of all time. I'm so grateful for it. And now that I'm in the UK, I get to get really caught up. So that's the main reason why I came.
And my crush of the week is Stan from The Americans, who can absolutely tear me apart at his earliest convenience. He's the FBI agent who lives across the street from them.
Oh my God. I do know you like that.
Are you currently watching it, or are you just I'm thinking about him?
I'm currently watching it with the first time.
You like that guy. Interesting.
Yeah.
I don't like that guy.
I want to be his little spy who he fucks and can't tell his boss about.
Little spy.
That's fine.
Under
He
his
has to
desk.
fuck on national television through a webcam.
For the sake of the country.
Yeah. And it's
I love
mortifying
that.
for everyone.
No, do y'all feel hot today?
I like my hair length right now, so I'll go with yes.
I just got my beard trimmed, so I like that.
I love the green hat as well. It's a great color.
Yes.
Thanks. I like the green hat as well. I don't like my hair right now, so that's why I'm wearing this hat. So I don't feel 100%, but I like the beard.
I feel like a garbage pail. I feel like the lining of a garbage pail because I went on a flight, haven't slept, had a headache for 4 days. But y'all made me feel, y'all brought me to life. You make me feel warm and held. And yeah, actually, I somehow feel hot even in this. If you took a screenshot of this and said, that's hot, but like, I'm Wow, I'm like short circuiting. Yes. The answer is yes, mama.
Yes, mama.
And last but not least.
Are you mad at me?
No, I did double text you this week.
Right.
And it's just funny because I texted him something completely like not important or time sensitive. But then I was like, did you see that?
Right.
And you didn't respond.
I didn't see it. Yeah.
You didn't see it.
Yeah.
No.
It's not great.
We don't need to get into it, but like you did see it.
I will say, Catherine, I will say this because I knew when I saw it just now, I was like going to get.
Oh my God, no, but I'm not mad.
I will call you a bunch of times in a row and you don't call back a lot, but I would never care about that. But if I miss a text, then it's like, let's slay this girl.
Double standard.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, I actually knew that I shouldn't bring it up because I knew how prickly you'd get, Mr. Cactus. I know sometimes, well, you know, with phone calls especially, it's like, oh, I can't talk on the phone right now.
Yeah, but sometimes that's how I am with text and like engaging with my text.
No, and I'm sorry, and we both have flaws, and I love you no matter what, and I'm not mad at you.
I would have so much to learn, and I'm not mad.
Jeffrey, are you mad at us? Are you mad that I'm in like a closet or what?
I'd be mad if someone called me on the phone.
No,
I'm in my phone call.
We love a little phone call.
Era.
Oh, how awful.
I love talking to Mr. P on the phone.
Yeah.
Do you? I don't talk to anyone on the phone. I talk to my mom on the phone, but that is literally it.
What about Augie when y'all are apart?
It's not. It's a big problem for our relationship.
Oh
because
my God!
You have to just take the plunge.
Like
pretend it's a pool and dive in.
Jeffrey, pretend it's a pool. That's a good title. Pretend it's a pool.
Yeah. But I do like that. I'm not good on the phone. I don't know. And I'm really bad on FaceTime. I hate FaceTime.
Oh, I hate FaceTime too.
So I would be mad at you if you called me on the phone, but I'm not mad at either of you.
Are you sure?
I love you both.
Well, we still need to do our project together.
I know we do, and I want to hang out. I've never really hung out with you, Pat. So I want to hang out with you.
Except for one time on Fire Island, we saw each other. Remember?
Yeah, but that doesn't really count.
Next time Pat's in New York, I'll get a big.
I know pizza.
I'll get a big pizza to share. That sounds good.
Big pizza.
I had pizza at the airport, and it slapped. It slapped.
So pizza's so good.
Okay, amazing. Well, y'all, if you're listening, get Jeffrey's book. I can't wait to read it. The blurbs are. Actually, you have the best blurbs. Like, I cannot.
The people delivered on that. That's very nice friends. All very nice friends.
I see that shit all day, but yours are really special. Graham Norton did a great one. Bowen did a great one.
Bowen did a great one. Gary Janetti, who I'm about to go have lunch with. A lot of wonderful, wonderful people who are very nice. So, yes, it's out March 11th, and hopefully people will buy it.
They will. They will. Thank you for coming on. We love you. And rock and roll.
And when the heart breaks, it
don't break even.
If you're boring as fuck, seek treatment. If you're unlucky in love, seek treatment. If you just can't take a hint, well, seek treatment. With Kat and Pat.
That was a Headgum podcast.